And we have Weaven now doing his mandatory pit. So it's now seen Bertie take the lead. So we've seen Corby already be in for his pits. So it's seen him drop back to 11th. Sorry for the dropout. I'm having all sorts of Wi-Fi issues at the moment. And a time penalty at the moment, so we've got Kakadu with a 10-second time penalty, so that would be speeding in pits. He probably didn't get on the brakes enough entering into the pits. Bertie will need to come in and serve his mandatory pit. And Gallon's just leaving the pits as well. So Weaven has come back out ahead of Corby still, barely just. So we need to see Bertie, Fritz, D-Train and Ruby going to the pits. Looks like Rooney just dropped a couple more positions, a little bit off pace. We saw Weaven and Corby get ahead. So now being lapped. Ooh, that is tight between the two. So that is the spot where I said you do not want to try and make a pass that puts you offline for that. It can be catastrophic to try and do a pass. These two are going to give us a show for the entire race, I think. Oh, there was potential for a pass. Corby got on that inside line and under braking. That puts him offline for that corner. Gonna have to tuck back in, get on that pace, sit off on his tail. See if he can outbrake him on this corner, maybe. I don't think he's close enough to actually sneak around. Well, we saw Weaven have issues with Sweat Ridge in that same section before. Colby's lost that pace again. Weaven out driving in that chicane. So didn't get to really see if these guys changed tyres or not. So we have Fritz Iskenia currently leading the race, but he does need to pit. Here he goes into the pits. This will see Weaven and Corby catch back up. It looks like we're getting about 23 seconds for a pit stop. Corby is really pushing that car. He's got some good pace. He did have a very good lap to have those couple of cracks at Weaven. But very difficult corners to try and pass. So they are now back at the front of the pack again. And our championship leader is still holding back in 6th position. After that incident at the start of the race. 10 laps remain, and these two are still at the same pace behind each other. These two are just going to play cat and mouse the whole time. Can Weaven hold him off for another 10 laps? The drivers didn't mention that they were too fatigued after the sprint race. Some of them do find that some of the tracks after the sprint race, where it's very technical, it is quite exhausting. Shouldn't be too bad for this track. Oh, these two are so close. Oh, will Corby have a crack at him. We saw him get on the brakes and lock that rear up on approach into this corner last time around. He's looking to potentially do it. He just needs to follow Weaven's line. Try and force an error. You can see just how quick he catches up to him after the chicanes. And try and spot their different lines. Got quite quick through that section. Similar braking points. Very different line there. Probably much more of an inside line. I've noticed he takes a much more inside line on the exit coming out on that one a couple of times as well. So not as quick that time around, so he's a little bit further back off from Weaven. A little bit of time, so there's a slowdown penalty that's been given to a 0. Only 1 second, that's not going to really affect him. I could do with 10 seconds at the moment with Fritz Skenia only being 7 seconds behind him. That could potentially cost him a position in the long run. They're doing the usual at the moment. We see Corby nearly drop out to a second difference. Very similar line. Pace a little bit different. And they're coming up to some back markers now, so this could be an opportunity for Corby. If Weaven gets held up in some traffic, I think that's Mersey Blue just ahead as well. That's Mersey Blue's car. Weaven's just put the lights on, giving a flash to letting him know. Mersey's moving over and letting them through, so that's nicely done. Thank you very much, Mersey. That is great sportsmanship, mate. So if he had kept pace going along that section, that could have then balked Weaven and Corby and then potentially opened up a position for Corby to get around Weaven. The two get through to continue this game between each other. Well, they are keeping that pace. We have D-Train quickly catching up on Fritz Skenia. Oh, and that's cost him. He's lost that time that he's gained up. And we've got Gallen now moved back up into 4th position, so it's not going to be too painful for him to finish within the top 3. Can he get past Bertie? How quick he's coming up? I think he definitely can. You can see him quickly closing in. Going through the chicane, that was quite quick. Nice line by the two of them. Lap 18. 7 laps remain. Simo Simsel, blue flag, allows the guys to move through. They get through nice and cleanly. Great driving by Simo to safely move out of the way for the faster cars. Some quick pace. And we've got Corby closing back in again. He was back down to 0.9 of a second difference again. He's now closed that back into 0.3. It seems to be that Weaven is much quicker through the sector where there is no opportunity for or sorry, where there's more opportunity for a pass. Yeah, set laps, so it's 25 lap race, Xavier. Thanks for joining us for the stream. So they've got a mandatory pit for this race as well. All drivers have been in. And they got 5 laps remaining. And we see Corby hot on Weaven's tail through that section each time around. Yeah, Corby's done some great driving. It's been great trying to see him look for an opportunity for a pass. These two have been like this the entire race. Oh, he's going to go for an inside. No. Just brings that back through. If you join us on the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button. Oh, Corby looking to make that pass. Would have put him off line for that next corner. I can hear another car. They're catching up. That would have been a 0, so 0's moved over. Oh, an inside pass, nearly done. There was a bit of contact made. That's just put him off line, so he's backed off a little bit. He's edging a little bit closer each time around now. Back markers, traffic didn't hold them up too much. Will Corby get him this time around? He's getting more and more game. So Corby's currently second in the championship with 284 points, and Weaven is third with 276. No, not another forced pit stop, so only one forced pit stop for this race. So we shouldn't need to see anyone go in unless there's some significant damage for them. And fuel loads should be fine for the two. They were running similar fuel at the start. The race leader lead the entire race last time in the sprint race for tonight's session. Oh, and Corby, no, he has got to bring that in, so it's not a good spot to pass on this corner. Oh, Corby's made an error. A bit of an oversteer coming through that bend. That's just dropped him back to 0.7 of a second. He can make that back up. Tucking in for that stream. Very nice line. This is where we saw him have an attempt at a pass last lap around. And noticing Weaven much quicker through the sections where there's an opportunity for a clean pass. Corby gets in very close in the other sections where it's not quite safe for a pass, like here. Oh, that is tight. Oh, he has to bring that car back in so he can get it through the chicane. Oh, and he could make a pass here. This could be it. No, he brings it back in. These two are going to fight for the top of the podium. Oh, he's almost just crossed paths and nicked. He did cut that curb a fair bit. I'm not sure if that's going to give him a slowdown. I don't think it will. He doesn't want to take a 1 second penalty here. If he does get ahead of Weaven, that won't help. When they're sitting this tight, he would just relinquish that spot anyway. No, so he hasn't been given a slowdown, so that's been fine. So there's still opportunity here for Corby to get around. And there's a 0 just sitting behind these two, enjoying the show. And Weaven's made a mistake. That's cost him some time, but There was not enough room around that corner for Corby to get through. 2 laps to go. See Corby catch up quite quickly. This is where we see Weaven tend to get away a little bit quicker off on Corby. And then Corby does catch him along this section. Oh, much quicker, but he's too quick through there. He's had to bring that up. No, they're not forced into default, as we do have some drivers that tend to use a controller. And that can be a little bit difficult for those using it. I think only one of us in this group here at the moment is actually driving with a control. I'm not sure what view he goes with. And it's custom setup, so there is a difference in how they can actually adjust their cars for it. Even increasing that lead again. I think it's going to have to be up to the last lap if Corby's going to make a pass. Oh, he did get offline. He's really focused on Weaven at the moment. He's braking much later through that corner. He's much quicker coming into it than what Weaven was. Oh, he's going for an inside pass. They're going to rub shoulder. Then he's got around. What a pass by Corby on lap 24. Can he hold Weaven off? That was a brilliant pass. That was the one spot that he was looking to be able to do it. If you're joining us for the stream, there is sound controls down below. You can play sound effects over it. You can play cheers for them. I think Corby deserves a good cheer for that one. That was a brilliant move. He'd been sitting back for 24 laps waiting for that opportunity. That is being very persistent, and it has paid off. If he does not make a mistake this lap, this will be his race. So last lap around, Corby's time was a 1:22.937 and Weaven's a 1:24.117. It's a little bit off pace. That allowed Corby to take that opportunity. And we're coming up into the last corners. Final lap. Weaven hasn't given up. Can he nab him on the same bends? I don't think he can. Oh, very wide by Weaven. No, and that's it. Corby has won the race. He crosses the line. 1-2. Weaven just copped a time penalty right at the end as well, so he must have cut that corner. Bertie's coming along for a spot at the podium on third. I'm sure he's struggling with that car at the moment. And out of our drivers on the grid, Bertie has done this on a controller as well. Well done, Bertie. And our championship leader, he's recovered back from 8th into 4th after having a nice start and then spinning out early on. We have a 0 starting to catch up. Ooh, a little bit offline. Car behind him is a back marker, so that won't be worrying him. So 5th place for a 0, well done a 0. 35 seconds remain for the race. Kaka comes through in 6th position. He does have a 10-second time penalty. Will Demon Effect steal away a position? Yes, he does. He now moves up into 6th. Fritz is going to cross the line in 8th, followed by D-Train in 9th. And there we have it. Round 4 is done. So Corby 387 getting the lead to the race on lap 24. So well done. Those two sat behind with that time difference the entire race. So well planned on that last lap, Corby. A good win for you. Also on the podium is Weaven 777, followed by Bertie 1035, and then Gallen 350 in 4th position. So after being in 2nd and being spun out on the first corner and taking damage and then moving down to 8th, he did recover back quite well, and we saw the same happen with Weaven 777 in the sprint race as well. So the rest of the field followed is Zero, Demon Effects, Kakadu, Fritz Skinner, Mr. D-Train Barbado, Rooney 9915, Mersey Blue, Vert Wheeler, Simo Simsel, and we did lose Charlie Roof by disconnect earlier on as well. So is the end of round 4. So next week we have round 5. So we have a different race format for the final round. So it is only one race, so it's a big race. So usually it goes for about an hour for the race. So, and that is at Bathurst Mount Panorama. So the big points, the 60 points was up for grabs for the win for this main race here. It is double points, so 120 points. And with the championship being so close, with only 11 points separating Gallen 350 from Corby, and then another 8 points difference between Corby and Weaven. So it will be the decider next week. So be sure to hit that follow button so you can stay up to date with our streams. So it'll be the same time again, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on next Thursday night. Be sure to check out our social media links as well, so you can see our race results. So if there's any penalties and whatnot, you'll see incident reports get posted up. We also have the Apex Esports League app on the Android store, which has all links to those informations as well. If you want to get involved in any of our racing, head to our Facebook page, join over into our group, and we'll have all our event details. So we currently run iRacing on Tuesday night, so if you're on PC, be sure to head over and join us for that. Otherwise, it'll be great to see you again next Thursday night for the final round of the Lake Edge V8 Supercar Championship, and would like to thank Lake Edge Holiday Units for sponsoring this series. So thanks for joining us, and see you next week.